There's a societal construction of what a man should be, where men have to be strong. You don't really often see male role models who are displaying weakness or vulnerability.
Especially men nowadays are expected to be more of a, a contemporary man. You know, my generation is one of the first generations where we change nappies and we want to be part of the family. Because it's the first generation of people that are doing that, it's hard to get to the point where it is the norm.
They feel like it makes them less manly if they talk about their mental health and stuff like that, or it's men have to be masculine, strong and brave and protect everyone that they have to be around and stuff like that, which is wrong.
You go, oh, I'm fine. But you're not fine, you know. It took me a while probably to face the facts.
So there was a lot of shame around it. There was a lot of lying to myself, hoping it would go away. I kept quiet about it probably for 10 years.
A bad day would be something like I'd wake up and not feel like I could get out of bed. I was just struggling. I couldn't face the cycle to work. I couldn't face getting in the shower. I couldn't face getting into the office. Couldn't face talking to people. Couldn't face whatever pile of work was on my desk that day. And either I wouldn't make it in and I'd call into work from home and try and do a few things on the laptop, or I'd make it in and I'd sit looking blankly at the screen for hours on end, and yeah, I'd get a few things done, but it would be more staring than typing. I couldn't really articulate what was going on, and it was just weird.
If it was a down day, I felt despondent, useless, absolutely distraught about what the future held, if there was even a future to be contemplated, and more specifically, I suppose, nothing could be seen in a positive light whatsoever.
If my anxiety levels are high, I don't want to do anything new. I kind of just want to shut down and withdraw from the world.
I didn't even want to speak to myself or be around myself, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't want to exist because I just feel like I've trapped myself in a box for so long because I've just been worried about what everyone thinks about me. So most days I don't really want to wake up at all.
When I have a really bad day, and that's sleep. So I've had nights sometimes I've cried myself to sleep.
One of the, I guess, tactics I used later on was to just a square on my whiteboard saying survive till 5 and set aside your fears and make a small imperfect start, which it's a really powerful thing. It's like you don't know where you're going, and just okay, just start something. Don't worry too much about where it's going. Just try and get going and see if that gets you anywhere. Do a Sudoku or a crossword, or something that was just low stakes and no consequence to getting it wrong.
I did find comfort in crappy food. You know, if I was having a really bad day, then a nice McDonald's would cheer you up, which is just in itself makes you hate yourself. It doesn't help on any level apart from in the immediate moment, I guess.
Physical exercise and being outside are really good to change my mood. And that can be something as simple as a 15-20 minute bike ride. It can be going for a 10-15 minute walk. And being outside, being in nature, I can just feel those dark feelings starting to recede. It doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it go away. It just makes me feel better about dealing with it.
Whatever gets you through at the end of the day is what you must do. You sit down, you can do the yoga, you can go out for a walk, write it down. It's like wiping a slate clean. If you bottle it up, it makes you worse. If you find you can let it go, it's all the better.
But when you're already in a fragile state of mind, everything is amplified, everything is worse than, or it feels like it's worse than it actually is. I can talk to somebody about it, especially strangers. Strangers are the best people in the world to talk to about it. I don't mean just like, excuse me, come here, I need to talk about it. But somebody, you know, across the internet.
That it's okay to talk about it. That has been a liberating experience for me.
I find it easier to talk to people I don't even know sometimes, so like things like Samaritans and stuff like that, that helped me through a lot of my very difficult times, and they possibly could have saved my life a few times, because speaking to someone that's been in that same boat and them talking to you and calming you down, that is a big thing. And like, they stayed on the phone to me, and it's actually like they cared. Things will get better eventually, and I'll be able to do what I want to do and be where I want to be at some point in life. And it's just taking time and trying to heal everything, stuff like that, and get myself into a better mind frame.
I have no problem with that aspect of masculinity, of bravery and being the great hero, but it's very shallow. It doesn't talk about the real stuff. I also don't think boys are taught to express vulnerability. So you're taught to be brave, and if you fall over and scrape your knee, you know, pick yourself up, be a brave boy, be a big boy. And I think those messages don't help. Actually, the male psyche can be quite fragile sometimes. You are not alone. That many men, I mean, 1 in 4 individuals in society will experience mental health problems.
Mental health is much, much more common than you think. And now it's becoming much more accepted that it's a common thing.
Everybody needs to talk about it more. Mental health as a concern, as a problem, needs to be spoken about with the very loudest voices that are out there.
I found that the tactics and strategies got me to a point where I could cope with most days. As someone who's kind of been through the mill and out the other side, to say, look, it can get better. You can get past it. And the bad days got further apart and less severe.